Hello, I'm Sujit here at Elmi Linux MyDC. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create directories and files using the command line inside Linux systems. The first command that we are going to see today is the mkdir command, which is used to make directories. If the directory already exists, the mkdir won't make any changes to that existing directory. Let's have a look at the example. I'm going to use the mkdir command to create a folder called Apple, and I'm listing the contents of the current directory, and I'm grabbing Apple. You can see that we have just created a directory named Apple, and you can confirm that it's a directory because we can see the D at the beginning of the listing. So you can actually go into the Apple directory if you want to, and you can use the provide working directory command, that's pwd command, to see the path of the folder that you are standing at the moment. So it's actually Apple. So the directory was created. I'm going back to the home folder. Alright, next we are going to see the touch command. It's used to change the timestamps of the files and directories inside the Linux system. But it has got this cool functionality that if the file does not already exist in your system, it creates a new file for you. So I think this is the easiest method to create files inside Linux system. Let's have a look at the touch command. I'm going to take you to the man page for the touch command first to see the options that it provides. One parameter of interest is the T parameter, which is used to change the timestamp to an older or newer period of time, or the point of time actually. So if you access a file and if you don't want your system's administrator to find out that you have accessed a file, you can actually change the timestamp to an older point of time. But this is a cool functionality. And you've got a couple of options, a couple of other options as well, which I'm not going to mention in this tutorial. Let's see how the touch command works. I'm going to create a file called Orange using the touch command, and let me list the contents of this folder and grab the string orange. You can see that the file orange is just created, and you can confirm that it's a file because you can see an empty parameter at the beginning of the listing. That's the blank parameter, which means that orange is actually a file. Okay, and you can see the time at which the orange file is created. That's 6:32 a.m. and you can confirm that it's the current time. So the file is just created. That's what I just want to emphasize. So touch is a simple command to change the timestamps, but it has got this cool functionality of creating files if the file does not already exist in your system. So the next command that I would like to introduce is the mktemp command to create temporary files. The file is created in the same directory where you are standing, but you can use the T parameter, that is the GNU parameter, or the tmpdir parameter, that's the Unix parameter, to change the location to the temporary directory, that is a /tmp directory, if you wish to. Okay, and you can see more information at the man page of the mktemp command. Let's have a look at the man page of the mktemp command first. One parameter of interest is the D parameter, which I'm going to demonstrate in the next part of this tutorial. So let's not look into that at the moment. You have got a couple of options. The temp directory parameter is of interest to create files in the temp folder. I've already mentioned that. The T parameter also creates files and folders in the temp folder by default. So that's all about the man page. If you want to have a look at that, we could have a look at that actually. So let's see how the mktemp command works. So I'm going to create a temporary file orange.xxx. Well, x at the end, you can see three of them. They are actually the random parameters that mktemp is automatically going to populate. Okay, so this is for the purpose of avoiding collisions for file creation. mktemp makes sure that the random parameters are generated in such a way that the orange dot file that we are going to create won't collide with any of the existing files in the system. Okay, and let me press enter and see what mktemp has created. Well, it has created a file called orange.bru. B, R and U are the random parameters mktemp has automatically populated for us. Thank you. So we have just created a temporary file called orange inside the current directory. So let me list the contents of this file and grab orange. You can see that we have just created a temporary file called orange. Okay, and as I have already mentioned, if you want to create a temporary file inside the temp directory, you can use the T parameter or the tmp_dir parameter. You can see that the mktemp has automatically prefixed the temp directory before the file that it created. So it means that the file is actually created in the temp directory. So if I list the temp directory and grab orange, you can see the file that it created for us, that is orange.vo2. So T is a pretty cool parameter if you want to create temporary files which will automatically get deleted when the system reboots. So you could use T in such a way. Let me go back to the tutorial, and the last thing that I would like to mention in this tutorial is to create directories. It's a temporary directories using the T parameter along with mktemp. So we have already seen that in the man page for mktemp. Let me take you to the man page once more. You can see the D parameter of the directory parameter. The D parameter is actually the Unix parameter, and this is the D parameter is the GNU parameter, and directory parameter is the Unix parameter. You can use either of them as you please. So let's create a directory now. It's going to be a temporary directory. The directory name should be apple.something. Since I've given the T parameter along with the D parameter, the mktemp created a temporary folder inside the temp directory which is named apple.x8f. You can check whether the folder creation was successful using the list command. I've just listed the contents of the temp directory and I've grabbed apple. You can see that the directory creation was actually successful. So at last I would like to show you how to create a temp directory inside the standing folder. That's the current folder in which you are working at. That's going to be apple.xxx. It has just created a directory named apple.j2m inside the current folder. So let me list contents of the current folder, and let me grab Apple. You can see that the apple.j2m is actually there, and it's actually a directory. If you want to go to apple.j2m, you can do that, and you can use the pwd command, that's the provide working directory command, to see the actual path in which you are standing. So we have seen 4 commands in this tutorial. The first one is the mkdir command to make directories. The second one is a touch command to create files. The third one is the mktem command to create temporary files, and the last one is mktem along with the d parameter to create temporary directories. So that's all about this tutorial. If you have any doubts, please feel free to post a comment, and have a great time. Bye bye.